Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is now February 24th of 2025, and given that With Love Meghan, the upcoming controversial series by Netflix, is about to drop on March 4th, we already have a lot of things going on between Meghan Markle, the many executives over at Netflix, CEO Greg Peters, the board of directors. It is a mess over at Netflix HQ, and there is a lot to discuss. And when I say a lot, I say a lot. Now, one thing about Meghan Markle is that, once again, she is losing her marbles. This is typical Meghan Markle. Very narcissistic in nature, very greedy, self-absorbed, insufferable, I think is the best word out there to describe her. But what's interesting here has a lot to do with what's been going on with this show in particular, and exactly why it's creating a lot of chaos, not just for Netflix and their sake, but also for Meghan Markle's brand and her overall quote-unquote career. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you also very much for the great and kind support. So one thing about Meghan Markle right now is that she is trying to cling on to that career of hers, whatever you want to call it, acting career, whatever it may be, to remain in the spotlight, the limelight, to stay at the center of attention. And it's only getting worse for her because we know that the growing boycott, as it is, of course, growing, it is continuously expanding, and more people are beginning to unsubscribe from Netflix or are beginning to take a very deep pause on Netflix for a very long time until things begin to get much better or begin to improve over time. Now, what's interesting here has a lot more to do with Meghan Markle's recent behavior in light of the ongoing Netflix boycott and the in-studio politics happening over at Netflix HQ. Let's get into this. Now, with the Meghan Markle drama only getting more intense as the release date for her new series nears its March 4th debut, one major development that is now active involves Meghan Markle's behavior in response to the Netflix boycott that is rapidly growing in numbers right now. It turns out that a recent emergency meeting took place between the Netflix executives and the producers handling the Meghan Markle show with Love Meghan, where Netflix data analysts were able to provide shocking details that the majority of emails sent to Netflix after unsubscribing from the platform had to do with two things. Number one, the support for Meghan Markle, and number two, from the board of directors and the rising rates for the subscription plans. Now, just recently, the emergency meeting also involved Meghan Markle and her team, who were given metrics about the exact numbers in the midst of the ongoing boycott toward Netflix. This led to a recent outburst by Meghan Markle, where she blamed the Netflix executives for not allowing her full creative control, or full control generally, of handpicking the right marketing team from the very beginning, before the first trailer even released, and is already casting blame not just on the executives for embracing bigotry and misogyny, but also blamed the previous marketing team as incompetent and destructive to a production and her brand. Now, already Meghan Markle behaved in a very erratic way during the emergency meeting, which also included the board of directors, not so shocking there, who are now also beginning to panic as well, as this is likely to lead to more unsubscribers once the series drops on March 4th. Now, Meghan also got in yet another intense argument with Netflix CEO Greg Peters, where she blamed him as the main cause of the Netflix boycott, that even Meghan is now panicking that her new show will ultimately fail after nearly all test screenings failed miserably behind the scenes. Her outbursts even led to moments of tearing, where she got very emotional because of how much of an impact this is going to have on her brand. So guys, before I get to that in just a second, the fact that she's acting very emotional behind the scenes and everything else going on in between there, the fact that they are beginning to realize that the boycott is not slowing down, that backlash sure as hell is not slowing down at all. We already know that this is going to be one of the biggest disasters, if not the biggest disaster, by Netflix when it comes to marketing, when it comes to pre-planning, when it comes to a press tour. Everything is just sinking like a ship at this point. Now, Netflix data analysts, get this, already also reported to the Netflix executives that the wave of customers unsubbing from the platform is still rising and doesn't seem to be fending off anytime soon, and that they are projecting a significant spike of lost customers once the series drops, and once more, will learn about the rate increase. Now, of course, Meghan Markle is already demanding Netflix to release the second trailer for With Love Meghan, a trailer that CEO Greg Peters and the many executives over there are refusing to drop in order to save themselves from more backlash, and how this is a form of damage control by hiding the series' marketing campaign as much as possible. So guys, you may recall that Disney fell into a very interesting catch-22 situation as well, where they were supposed to release a third major Snow White trailer that did not ultimately release at all. Instead, we got like a shortened version of it. They wanted to shorten their marketing campaign because they want to diminish the backlash. They don't want more damage to come in. The same exact thing is going on here over at Netflix. It's literally the same exact thing. And how ironic is that we have two Rachels in a very similar scenario, right? Again, like I've said many times before, and I'll say it again, Meghan Markle doesn't have a clue. She just doesn't get it that customers of Netflix do not want to actually see Meghan Markle being promoted by Netflix. They don't want her being supported by Netflix, because this is the common misconception that I think a lot of you out there need to know. Netflix does support her, but they also do not support her. And to really kind of make that clear, the board, for the most part, they are with her, but the executives and Greg Peters, they're not really in support of her overall views, her attitude, how she deals with things behind closed doors and in the public eye. That's why you have a very big division going on over at Netflix over this new series With Love Meghan. Now, continuing on, Meghan took great offense to that development and is also warning the Netflix executives that she is going to convince the board to release that trailer in the next few days as a last resort to provide a boost in the marketing campaign for With Love Meghan. Well, it's a little late right now, don't you think? It's already the 24th of February. This thing is coming out on March 4th. It's a little late to debut a second trailer. In fact, if anything, it would be a major mistake on their end. Continuing on, Meghan acted not just angry toward Greg Peters, but it even came to a moment of tears, where she was in pure panic that this series is indeed going to deeply impact her image, and ultimately her entire brand. So again, I mean, her brand is at stake, everything to do with Meghan Markle is at stake after this series debut, also, by the way, starring Mindy Kaling. And Mindy Kaling, look, she's another one. I mean, she's quite something else as well, and we'll have a lot more to talk about her in the coming weeks. But Meghan Markle just does not seem to get the memo here that customers of Netflix don't want to watch anything to do with Meghan Markle, period, the end. Nothing will ever work, and that's just that. And that's why you're losing subscribers, that's why people are boycotting right now, at the very minimum, and it's growing. It is expanding beyond expectations. And this is just typical Meghan Markle. I mean, this is the type of effect that she has on customers, right? This is exactly why she lost the Carnival Cruise Line's contract deal for a series of commercials, roughly 25 commercials to be exact, that were supposed to drop in 2026. We talked about that a couple of weeks ago. And also everything else going on with her lost cameos and short movie roles that are going down the drain. So her role as an actress, her role in the commercial business is also diminishing, and we'll have a lot more to talk about that. But overall, I would really love to hear what everyone has to say about the Meghan Markle drama, everything else going on over at Netflix, the marketing campaign, etc., etc. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.